Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Hot Projects, where we take a look at some of the biggest games on the blockchain right now. Today we're covering some new games, some old games, and we've got a few things to give away. We have some Alluvium beta codes that we're going to talk about. So let's get into today's episode. Let's kick things off with Alluvium. Alluvium have been doing big things recently. They currently have their final 24 hours of their Alluvium Beyond Wave 1 of this, so don't miss out on them if you want to get involved in this project. If you don't know much about Alluvium, it is probably the biggest project out there with the best graphics, the best content, a variety of different games within one ecosystem, and Alluvium Overworld you can actually play now. So I got given 20 beta codes. I asked people to email me if you wanted one of those codes. I think I've given like 6 away so far, so we still have a few to give away. So if you still want to gain access to this game and be able to test it out, play it, and just help work towards building a good community in terms of a game that has good feedback, and also helping them work out any bugs for when the game goes live fully. And yeah, here we can see this is an open world game with third person shooting, and also it has this auto battler, but to a really high quality level where the design is just next level. There's nothing like it on the blockchain right now that is this high quality. So if you want to get involved with that, just drop me an email. You can find that in the links down below. But yeah, Alluvium doing big things, and looks like we're getting so much more content in 2023 than we've had previously. They had opportunities to do NFT sales way before they're doing them now, and they could have made a lot of money. I think they would have made probably more money in NFT sales than any other project, but they waited until they had content to show, waited until they had things that they could deliver on. So great project, Alluvium. Check that out. The links to that will be in the description down below. Next up, another project that's been around for a long time and was pegged to be one of the biggest games as well alongside Alluvium. I think Star Atlas, they did have their NFT sales a lot earlier than Alluvium, and as a result of that, I think there was a lot of money put into this game. The trailer for it was one of the better ones out there, and they just weren't delivering on quality of gameplay like Alluvium did. But now we are in June 2nd. Star Atlas Showroom Release 2.1 is out now. So from wild racing tracks to the Volant Station to jetpacks, all ships being flyable and much more, this closed access release is a new iteration of our Star Atlas playable metaverse. And so if you want to learn all about that, they've put a nice little tweet putting exactly what this update comes with: ground racing, 49 ships, jetpacks and more, updated dogfighting. So now we have content, and what is great to see is actually the level of detail quality that they put in the trailer does look to be matched by their actual gameplay. So the avatars you have in game look really good, nice and detailed. The atmosphere around is just crazy, like jetpack boots here at Volant Station, and it's great to see these games starting to deliver on their promises, more flyable ships. So now is a good time to get involved in this. These prices of some of these ships were so expensive, but now we're into a kind of a lull in the NFT gaming period. Some of these could be a really good price to pick up. Given like 2-3 years where this game is probably going to be, it's a lot further ahead of many of its competitors, and yeah, it just looks so high quality. It looks beautiful, right? A little hovercraft, like a little hover taxi. As a result of that, they've got some quality gameplay. So races like this, and this reminds me of Star Wars racing, if you ever play out with a land speeder, and that in itself as a game was brilliant. So this is going to have a much bigger ecosystem. I like this, going through gates in the air as well. And you can test phase their multiplayer. Oh, Mr. Drain. Oh no, he's got on. You can interact with other people. Fly into other people's ships, maybe. Yeah, it looks really, really good. Definitely one to keep your eye on. Star Atlas. Go check that out. The links to that will be down in the description below. Next up, let's take a look at a big game, but a very different genre. So, Gala Games is one of the biggest gaming ecosystems in the NFT gaming space. And they've produced some really good games already. They have some big IPs like The Walking Dead. And Mirandus is really pegged to be the MMORPG available for people to play. Now, for me, looking at this and how much some of these buildings were going for, the quality didn't match up with the price tag. And I mean, you can tell from, as we compare this to Star Atlas and Alluvium, the quality is a lot lower end. That does mean that they can probably focus more on content, and I think that's what this game will deliver on. It will create a world that you can interact with. These NFT assets of buildings will potentially bring you economy. You know, you can own your own weapon shop and buy and sell weapons to people. You can own other things in the game, you know, taverns. You can fight enemies in the game. So we see some of the stats on Mayhem, what actually happened. 37,000 deers have been killed. Most deaths by a single player. Goshinyhunting, 193. I mean, is a good reward to get. Second most goblins killed. Most goblins killed by a single exemplar. Everglen. So it's nice to see they're putting out little updates and things like that. Yeah, and they have in-game games like poker, Texas Hold'em Up. Now, poker is a game in itself that I think I personally would enjoy to play generally just as a blockchain game. You know, just to be able to use crypto instead of cash or USDT or pound to be able to play with and bet and know when to fold so you don't lose a big hand, know when to stay in there for your maybe better hand and outplay somebody else. Like, in itself it could be really good, but the fact that they're building these things into their ecosystem, definitely fitting with the whole atmosphere of Mirandus as well, being like a tavern. You go into a tavern, sit down and play a game of poker with some people in there. That'd be pretty cool. So definitely worth checking out if you enjoy MMORPGs. I think, like I say, in terms of content, maybe not quality of design, but in content, I think this is going to be one of the biggest ones out there for an MMORPG. Right, now onto something a little different. We're testing a lot of genres today. So obviously we've gone with Alluvium. We've got a open world third-person shooter auto battler. We've got Star Atlantis, also a third-person, but with racing, with some of the ships and being able to explore. There'll be a huge economy in the ecosystem. Run this MMORPG. Next, we're going to be going over to Tolan Worlds. Now, this is just something a little bit different, a little bit more simple, in that it's pixel art online RPG owned by its players, and you can play it for free now at tolanworlds.com. so just follow the link on the Twitter, which I'll put in the links down below. Bring your marks to Ritual Fates starting June the 1st and get a Genesis avatar. So they're coming to GameStop NFT. GameStop are definitely moving into the NFT gaming space. I think that is a big move, and a big move for its reputation. Crypto, that is, as GameStop is obviously a huge name. So Tolan Worlds just has a different feel to it in terms of gameplay. It's very old school style, like Zelda graphics, but looks pretty fun. I mean, I love these. Some of these games you can make really, really good in quality, you know, by putting challenging puzzles in there, good storylines, good items and weapons that you can use in games, add some variety to it. And we see Shep using a samurai sword, katana slash, and we've got some magic going on there as well. This rat seems nice. Oh, the rat turns on him. Oh, poor guy. you're going to go up against bosses as well in the game. So constantly moving about, avoiding, as you can see, fighting him whilst there's arrows around as well. So dealing with them. That's where I think these games really, you know, are high in quality. It's the level of gameplay and having to think on your feet and respond to an enemy with different abilities and find its weaknesses. So I think Toll and Worlds could be a really, really good game, a really fun game in terms of content if you're looking for something like that. And yeah, as I said, they have their NFT sale coming up soon. So they're starting from June the 1st. That should be already available now. And all the details are on their Medium page. So Genesis avatar, you can see the anatomy. It will be a unique playable skin, give you exclusive content, collectible cosmetic drops, early game access, in-game store discounts, and regular in-game rewards if you have one. So June 1st at 10 PM. Let's see what time it'll go on until. So if we go to the website now, get your avatar, Genesis avatar, so we can go to GameStop. 2.1k. So if you can buy one secondhand as well, and that what's great is these are really cheap at the lowest prices. So $5.63, really good entry prices in some of these games now. Highest price $3,000. Okay, I don't know what makes them so worth that. You can see you got different weapons. I mean, Arik Eagle Rider, that bow looks pretty cool. He's got the coolest weapon. Oh, look at this guy with the giant axe. Ice sword. Side. Look at Valnya. Yeah, so really low entry if you're looking for a game to get involved in that you don't really want to put too much money into. You don't want to risk that. So yeah, pick them up on GameStop NFT now if you want to get involved in that. Next up, we have Sparkadia. They've had an early access weekend with Sparkball. So here we can see some footage of it. So some of you may have got involved in this. In terms of graphics wise, again, not as good as Alluvium, but I think this is going to be a project that's going to deliver on content and give you things that are fun to play. So Sparkball involves fighting, attacking your enemy, but whilst playing a game of basically rugby. And you know, the great thing about a game like this, it'll have so much variety, as you can see from the bottom, variety of different moves that you can put down and play. Tactically, you're going to be working together as a team. So this is probably one for people who are playing as a group and tend to do well because they can communicate and strategize together. Whereas they might be probably facing more enemies that go into this that haven't got a set team. And yeah, there's going to be a strong competitive element to this, I think. You've obviously got a variety of different characters that you can use. This guy being much more tanky and beastie, where you've got some light units that are quicker. Variety of different weapons that can be used. And then we see he takes the round by shooting. So I suppose it's more football than rugby, but it's not really. Is he kicking it? It didn't look like he kicked it. But yeah, looks like they've got a little fun game mode. Again, like, this is a game within their game ecosystem. So this is just one of the games that they're going to have. And this game, you know, football as on its own works really well. But I've seen this been put into place on MOBAs, and it just works well because you've got to weigh up sometimes whether you attack the enemy or whether you just hit the ball and go for a shot. So that ability to jump miles is pretty good. Yeah, you could have an enemy just trying to kill you and it doesn't matter because you've scored. It's all about getting in the right position. So Sparkball is something that they had in access, I think it was last weekend. So if that looks like something that you'd be interested to get involved in, then check that out. Links, of course, to that will be down in the description below. Find your Spark. And they've got a cinematic trailer coming soon. And here we see. Here they've got Sparkball coming soon. So I believe that might be the earliest game that you'll be able to get to play from them. Yes, that's Sparkadia. And don't forget, if you are playing games, the best place to go to download them is, you have Epic's Game Store, which is in collaboration with some projects now. Elixir Game Launcher is the best. PC Game Launcher, powering the next gen of Web3 games, just keeps you safe and protected. They have a nice top 10 games that they put out every week, so you can stay up to date with some of the big games out there. Cyber Titans seems to be very popular. Arcadia Warrior, some of these we've looked at before. Magic Craft, Raiders, so Elemental Raiders is one that we've covered in content before. Rainy Coin, Crypto Fighters, Moken's League, which is a similar football game. Stolen Worlds, as we just seen, Astro Must, and Revenge Game, which looks pretty friggin' good. I think we looked at that last time we did Hot Projects, and I mean, I love zombies. So Zombie Killer is always going to be fun. It has Team Deathmatch, Battle Royale, each with their own unique challenges and gameplay mechanics. So plenty to check out. I definitely recommend going on their socials if you want to look at some new projects and keep up to date with that. But I think we'll leave it there for today's episode. We've looked at some really strong projects today. Let me know down in the comment section, what do you like best? What will you be playing, do you think, in the future, or what you're already playing now? Let me know about those beta codes. If you want them, just send an email to the address down below, and I will then forward that on to the Alluvium team, and they will be in contact to give you one of those codes. Okay, that's all for this one. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video, hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you guys soon.